Hi, this is Tony Joe InDesign with another tutorial on InDesign. Today we're going to talk about master pages. So we are going to, master pages are really important when you're doing multi-page documents to be able to create templates and that you can reuse on pages, and most importantly, probably page numbers. It's one of the main things. So to create a master page, when you create your InDesign document, um, you have your pages uh, menu right here, and by default we only have one page right now, and it's by default the master page here. So here's the way your master pages are. So first we're going to do is because we're creating a 4-page newsletter, we are going to create actually 5 pages. We're not going to use page 1, so we're going to go insert pages, and we're going to create 4 new pages after page 1 using the master page A. So newsletter is almost, 11 by 17 folded into 2. So we're just going to, imagine this is our 11 by 17 here, and we folded the page twice, and we have 2 more pages at the bottom. So we're going to ignore page 1. We're not going to use page 1. So in order to access our master page, you have to double click on the left master page or double click on the right master page. They work separately, so you have to do everything on the left as on the right if you want it to show up. So this left page corresponds to this left page, and this right master page corresponds to this right master page. So going to master page A, we double click on it, and we're in it. What we're going to do is create a 3-column grid, or 3 columns of text. On the left, we create our text box. When the blinking cursor shows up, we can go to Object, Text Frame Options, or Command B, and we create 3 columns. And we say, okay, I'm actually going to change my preferences to inches. Do that really quickly. Okay, and we have to do the same thing for the right master page. So we have to drag a text box into the grid, and then Apple B or Command B, we create 3 columns. So once you do that, you'll notice you double click on, see if you just click once, you're not actually in the page. You double click and you're actually in the page. So notice that on page 2 and page 3, you can see my 3-column grid. And page 4 and page 5 is my 3-column grid. So A master page right here is this little A on the top right and top left. So we're going to create some columns and some guides for our rows. So we're just going to use the ruler. If you don't have the ruler up, you get to view show rulers. Will be here, hide rulers or show rulers. And just drag the cursor from in the middle, click and drag, and you can pull it down. I'm just going to use a 2-inch guide. On the left, you can't see it, but I'll use every 2 inches, I'll pull a row or a guide. So that's where my rows are going to be. And I have to do the same thing for the right-hand side or the right master page. So once again, I'll click and drag into that space and bring a guide down, and that will help me when I do my grid for my newsletter. I'll have these boxes that I can work with. And I want this to be on every page because every page is going to have the same grid. So once again, I have my columns and my rows, and I double click on page 2 and 3, and you can see I have a nice grid. Now you can't adjust this grid, and you don't want to because it's kind of locked into the master page. If you want to change it, you have to go to the master page and adjust it like this, and now you will see A is adjusted right on the left, and page 2 and page 4, and you can't move it. Now there's a way to deactivate it, and I'll show you that in a minute. But go back to master page A. Let's bring this back down to 2 inches, and you'll see it's changed back. Okay, so most importantly, we want to create page numbers. So to create a page number, we have to take the text tool, and we will drag a little text box right at the bottom here. When the cursor is blinking, you go to Type, Insert Special Character, Markers, Current Page Number. What that's going to do is it's going to put the page number automatically on page 2 through 5. But you have to do it for both sides. Otherwise, you'll just get a page number on the left page. So here, once again, we go to Type, Insert Special Character, Markers, Current Page Number. And I want this to be right aligned, so I'm going to go up to my alignment tool here, make that right aligned. If you see I go to page 2, you will see automatically page 2 shows up. And there's page 3, page 4, and then page 5. Now you can create any typeface that you want. This is just a default type. If bring up my type tool in here, and I can make it, Avenir. I can make it bold or black. You have to do the same thing for both on both sides. And once you do that, you can create any color, anything that you want, any design that you want. You can create into this little space here. Make sure you don't override the A, right? Because that's the actual page number code. So when you go there, you'll see page number 2 and page number 3. Okay, page number 4 and page number 5. So if you want to put, the name of the magazine, the name of the newsletter, the date, spring, 2015, you can have all that in there. Just make sure you do it on the master page here and not on the actual page. Okay, so right now we have page numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, but we want this to be page 1 and this to be page 4 because our newsletter, right, this is our cover, and this is our back cover, and this is the inside, and this is the inside cover here and here. Okay, so what we can do is we can do two things. I'll actually use this as my cover, the back page, and this is because this is page 4. So what I'll do is I'll click on page 5 and go to this arrow and choose create numbering and section options. So from here, this is going to be my cover page. I'll create the words text cover in this little area right here. And I will say OK. And now you'll notice that on page, I'm supposed to start on page 1, sorry. So numbering and section options, start it on page 1. So right here, start page numbering at 1. Say OK. So if I go to page, which is really page 5 in order, because I started on page 1, number 1 shows up. And this is page 4, because remember, this is my back cover, this is my front cover. And then page 2 and 3 is the inside. For a newsletter, it doesn't matter if what pages come first or second in the order because it's printed on both sides. If you're doing like a 16-pager newsletter, you should definitely have page 1 starting on the top. Otherwise, you're going to have a layout that looks kind of crazy. So this is good for the newsletter, and this will be, if we had to change something, you want to change it in the master page. So let's say, for instance, we wanted to put the name of the actual newsletter. Let's say we were doing a sports newsletter, and so I can type in here track and field newsletter. Gotta open up my box a little bit, and over here I want to put the issue. So let's say it's going to be spring issue, or spring 2015 issue. I have to have a little space in there. I have to keep the A because that's what's going to make it the page numbers automatic. So once I do that, right, now all I have to do is go to page 2, and you can see it automatically goes on every page. The left page is the left master page, and the right page is the right master page. So every page that I create will automatically have a left and right page. Now, this is one way you could deactivate, and I can't touch any of this because it's all locked. But my cover, my cover is going to be over here, right? I'm going to have a cover like a masthead like this. Maybe a photo that's going to go in here. I don't want on the cover page to have, the issue number and the page number because, cover pages generally don't have a page number. So how do I get rid of this without messing up the rest of the pages? Well, what you could do is you hold down the Shift command and click the actual element you want to deactivate. Once you do that, now you can actually move around the page number. Once you do that, the page number is no longer active and you can't change it in the master page. It'll work for the rest of the pages that you add. So if I added 2 more pages after pages, or 4 more pages after the cover page, you will see that each page still has a page number on it. Right? Still has a page number. But on this page, I want to get rid of it. I can just delete it. I'm going to actually delete these 4 pages. So on my cover page, where my masthead and my date and the name of the publication, my photo and whatever text I might put in here, I don't have the actual page number, which is fine. My back page will have page 4, and my inside pages will have page 2 and page 3. So hope you learned something about master pages today and why it's a really, really good thing to use them, because they can be easily replicated on other pages, and it will save you a lot of time. And you don't want to put page numbers in manually. You definitely want to put page numbers in using the insert page number function in your master pages. All right, hope you learned something today, and hit me up if you have any suggestions.